You are born with 8 legs. That sounds useful. It is not. You are smaller than a fingernail. Your body is soft. Your exoskeleton is thin. You cannot fly. You cannot run very far. And you are trapped inside a silk bag with hundreds of brothers and sisters. You are an arachnid. More specifically, you are a spiderling. That distinction matters because arachnids include spiders, scorpions, ticks, and mites, and their childhoods are very different. Your story follows one of the most familiar versions. A young web-building spider, and before you become the animal sitting confidently in the middle of a web, you must survive being sealed inside an egg sac, escape your siblings, launch yourself into the sky on a thread you cannot steer, catch prey larger than your own body, and repeatedly tear your skeleton open just to grow. This is why it sucks to be born as an arachnid. Your story begins before you hatch. Your mother is an adult female spider. She has already spent months hunting insects, avoiding predators, and growing large enough to reproduce. Now she produces eggs, not one, not two, hundreds. She places them together and wraps them in silk. Layer after layer surrounds the clutch. The result is an egg sac. It looks soft. It is actually your first fortress. The silk helps protect the eggs from weather, drying, and some predators. Depending on the species, your mother may guard it. She may attach it beneath a leaf, hide it under bark, carry it, or simply leave after construction is complete. In your case, the sac hangs among vegetation. Your mother does not crawl inside to keep you warm. There is no nursing, no feeding. Everything you need for the first stage is already sealed inside your egg. The embryo grows, 8 legs develop, fangs form, spinnerets appear at the rear of your abdomen, simple eyes develop at the front. You already possess much of the equipment associated with spiders. You are just too small to use most of it effectively. Then the egg opens. You emerge and discover another problem. You still cannot leave. In many spiders, the first young stage remains inside the egg sac and molts before the spiderlings emerge into the outside world. So your first achievement after escaping an egg is remaining trapped inside another container. Around you are siblings. Dozens, perhaps hundreds. Tiny pale bodies crowd against silk. Legs overlap. No one has personal space. The inside of an egg sac is less like a nursery and more like public transport designed entirely from thread. For a short time, this is useful. The sac still protects you. You may survive on reserves from the egg while your body prepares for the next stage. Then your old outer covering becomes a problem. Spiders have exoskeletons. The hard support structure is outside the body. This is excellent protection. It has one major flaw. It does not stretch enough to let you grow indefinitely. So you must molt. A new exoskeleton forms beneath the old one. The old covering splits. You pull yourself out. Legs first, then body. For a short period, the new skeleton is soft. You are larger. You are also temporarily wearing armor with the structural confidence of wet paper. Fortunately, you are still inside the sac. Eventually, the time comes to leave. A small opening appears in the silk. One spiderling emerges, then another. Then you. Sunlight, wind, leaves, branches. For the first time, there is no silk wall around the world. Hundreds of siblings gather near the sac. This looks like safety. It is not a long-term plan. Every spider around you needs food. Every spider around you will soon become a predator. And spiders are not famous for respecting family relationships. Many young spiderlings tolerate one another for a short period, but hunger changes the atmosphere. Sibling cannibalism occurs in many species, especially when food becomes scarce. The animal beside you is currently your brother. Several bad meals from now, the relationship may become nutritional. You need to leave, but you are tiny. Walking away would take time. The surrounding vegetation may already contain older spiders, ants, beetles, and other predators. So you climb. Up a stem, across a leaf, higher. The wind moves around you. You reach the tip of the plant, then you raise your abdomen. Silk begins leaving your spinnerets, one thread, then more. The breeze catches them. The silk stretches into the air. You wait. The pull becomes stronger, then your feet release. You leave the plant. You are flying. Technically, you are not flying. You have no wings. You are ballooning. Young spiders of many species disperse by releasing silk into moving air and allowing the atmosphere to carry them away. This is an elegant description for being kidnapped by weather. The ground disappears beneath you. Your siblings scatter in different directions. Some flights end after a few meters. Others can travel much farther. Small spiders have been carried great distances when conditions are right. You cannot choose exactly where you land. A field would be useful. A bush would work. A tree is acceptable. Water is less ideal. A road is worse. A roof containing no prey is simply bad customer service. The wind chooses, you rise, then descend. Your silk catches on a branch. Your body swings, you grab. The flight is over. You are alone. This solves the sibling problem. It creates every other problem. No mother, no communal silk around you, no guaranteed prey, no knowledge of where you are. You explore the branch. Something moves nearby. A tiny fly, food, you turn toward it. For spiders, prey does not arrive already prepared. You must capture something that often has wings while you are an animal that just survived air travel by accident. Fortunately, you can manufacture silk. You begin laying threads. The first structure is not a magnificent adult web. You are learning. Anchor line. Another thread. A small framework. You move carefully across silk that would be almost invisible to a human standing nearby. Then the fly touches it. The web vibrates. This is one of the great advantages of being a spider. You do not need excellent eyesight to know something has arrived. The silk tells you. You rush toward the vibration. The fly struggles. You grab it. Your fangs bite. Venom enters the prey. Most spiders use venom to subdue small animals. For the fly, this is terrible news. For you, it is breakfast. You wrap the prey with silk, then begin feeding. Spiders cannot chew food the way mammals do. Digestive fluids help liquefy tissues. You suck in the meal. Your first successful hunt transforms an insect into the material required to build more spider, which means another molt is coming. Days pass. You catch more prey. Grow. The exoskeleton becomes tight. Again, you must leave your own skeleton. Before molting, you stop feeding. You secure yourself somewhere protected. Pressure builds. Inside the old exoskeleton. A split forms, you pull. The body comes free, then the legs. 8 long legs must be extracted from 8 narrow old coverings without something going wrong. A failed molt can kill a spider. A trapped leg can leave you injured. A predator discovering you now would find your defenses reduced at exactly the worst moment. You finally emerge. Soft, pale, vulnerable. For hours, the new exoskeleton hardens. You remain still. Nothing attacks. Eventually, movement becomes safe again. Congratulations. You have survived growing. Now repeat the procedure several more times. Immature spiders molt repeatedly on the way to adulthood. Depending on species, conditions, and food, there can be many molts. Everyone is necessary. Everyone temporarily converts your protective skeleton into a liability. This is the arachnid version of renovating a house by removing the walls while still living inside. You keep hunting. Your web becomes larger. Your ability improves. A moth hits the silk. The impact is enormous compared with your earlier prey. Threads stretch. The moth beats its wings. You approach carefully. Large prey can injure the predator trying to eat it. You throw silk. More silk. The struggle slows. You bite. Eventually, the web becomes quiet. Another meal, another period of growth, but the web is not invisible to everyone. A bird sees movement. It lands nearby. Your body freezes. Birds eat spiders. Lizards eat spiders. Frogs eat spiders. Other spiders eat spiders, and some wasps have built entire life cycles around hunting spiders. Being a predator does not mean you have left the food chain. It means you have been promoted to a more complicated section of it. The bird hops closer. Your web shakes. You move toward the edge. Another hop. You drop. A silk safety line catches you beneath the branch. The bird eye searches the empty center of the web. You hang below. After several seconds, it leaves. You climb the dragline back upward. Part of the web is damaged. You repair it. Silk is not only a trap, it is transportation, safety line, shelter, egg sac material, communication system, and occasionally an emergency elevator. Weeks become months. You grow larger. Each molt makes you look more like the adult you are becoming. Now you can capture insects that would have overwhelmed your first web. But another danger arrives from below. A wasp. Certain wasps hunt spiders as food for their larvae. The adult wasp does not need to eat you. It needs you for something worse. It searches vegetation. Your web advertises that a spider probably lives nearby. You sense vibration. This does not feel like normal prey. The wasp approaches. You retreat. It strikes. You drop from the web. The wasp follows. You hide beneath a leaf. It searches. For several minutes, you remain motionless. If it catches you, a sting may paralyze rather than immediately kill you. The wasp can drag the immobilized spider into a nest and provide it as living food for a developing larva. Apparently, being eaten was not sufficiently unpleasant, so evolution created refrigerated storage without the refrigerator. The wasp eventually leaves. You climb back. The web must be rebuilt again. This becomes normal. A storm destroys sections. You repair them. Large prey tears holes. You repair them. Leaves fall through. Repair. The spider web looks delicate because every part of it is thin. Its strength comes from the fact that you can keep making more. Eventually, you approach adulthood. Your final immature molt arrives. Once again, feeding stops. You hang somewhere protected. The old exoskeleton splits. You emerge. But this time, when the new body hardens, your reproductive organs are mature. If you are female, you may continue building a large web and feeding heavily. If you are male in many web-building species, adulthood changes your priorities dramatically. You may stop building a permanent prey-catching web and begin wandering in search of females. This is dangerous. A stationary web at least gives you information about what touches it. Wandering places you on the ground, across vegetation and into unfamiliar webs. Eventually, you encounter another spider, larger, female, potential mate, potential predator, sometimes both. Spider courtship requires communication because approaching a hungry female without identifying yourself correctly can turn reproduction into dinner. A male may pluck silk, vibrate the web, move carefully. Signals tell the female that this is courtship rather than trapped prey. If she accepts, mating may occur. If she does not, leaving quickly becomes important. For a male spider, romance often begins with proving that you are not lunch. If you are female, your own future returns to the egg sac. After mating and feeding, eggs develop. You construct silk. A protected chamber forms. Eggs are placed inside, then covered. Hundreds of tiny lives disappear behind layers of silk. Some females guard the sac, others leave. Either way, the next generation begins where you did, inside a bag. So why does it suck to be born as an arachnid? Because being born with 8 legs does not make you powerful. You begin life sealed inside silk with more siblings than the local food supply could support. You must molt before you are even properly independent. Then you emerge beside animals that may eventually cannibalize one another. Your solution is to climb to the highest point you can find and deliberately release yourself into the wind. If you land somewhere useful, you must immediately become a hunter. You build traps from protein produced by your own body. You fight prey, avoid birds, escape wasps, repair storms, and every time growth makes you larger, your exoskeleton forces you to crawl out of your own skin while temporarily soft and defenseless. Yes, it is difficult to be born as an arachnid. You have 8 legs and still begin almost helpless. Your siblings are companions until hunger changes the definition. Your first major journey is uncontrolled flight without wings. Your first meal may fight back. Your skeleton must be abandoned repeatedly. And even after becoming a predator, much of the world is still trying to eat you. But there is beauty too. You emerge from a silk chamber smaller than the insects you will one day capture. A breeze catches a thread your body made. You release a leaf. For a moment, a creature without wings crosses the sky. You land somewhere your mother has never seen. There is no nest waiting. So you build one from yourself. One strand becomes 2. 2 become a frame. A frame becomes a web. The first insect touches it. The silk trembles. You move toward the vibration. You were born inside silk. Now silk carries you, protects you, and feeds you. The wind brought you here by accident. Everything you build afterward is yours.